night I lost my $2 million Platinum Arowana, my wife's male assistant, Aiden, posted on Facebook. No matter how much a fish is worth, it can't compare to a single tear from Anna Monroe during her morning sickness. In the photo, my arowana was served up as a fancy seafood dish on a platter. Aiden was on one knee, holding a forkful of tender white fish to my wife and his lips. My hands trembled with rage. I called her immediately. "You have 30 minutes to get that guy on his knees in front of me, begging for forgiveness. Otherwise, he's going to find out what real trouble is." Anna hung up without a word and then turned off her phone. The second the countdown ended, Aiden was shoved into a massive fish tank, struggling desperately like a drowning fish. I immediately posted on my own Facebook page. How bad can morning sickness be? Is it worse than suffocating? If you play with fire, you have to be ready to get burned. Noah, let Aiden go now. Anna stormed in and hurled a takeout container at me. The spicy, pungent soup splashed all over me, and a fish head rolled onto the floor, still steaming. "Don't you know? Aiden can't swim. You're going to kill him." "Good," I said, calmly wiping the soup from my hands, my eyes cold as I looked at her. "He can keep my arowana company. How can you be so cruel?" Anna's pupils constricted as she pointed a finger at my face, screaming. "I see what this is. You're just jealous that Aiden is younger and better looking than you, while you're nothing but a cripple who can't even walk straight. That's why you're plotting against him." Every word was a knife twisting in my deepest wound. 2 years ago, during a violent robbery in downtown LA, I took a bullet to my right leg, saving Anna. I tried every physical therapy imaginable just to walk without a cane, but the muscle continued to atrophy. She had watched me tremble in agony every day from electric stimulation, acupuncture, and tendon stretching. Anna would hold me, her voice full of pain. "Honey, it doesn't matter if you can't stand up. I'll be your leg from now on. Okay." I thought I had finally found true love, someone I could trust with my life. I never imagined that one day, for an assistant, she would rip open my still bleeding wound without a second thought. "Say whatever you want," I said. My chest was so tight I could barely breathe, but my voice was unervingly calm. The Platinum Arowana was auctioned for $2 million. If he can't pay up, he can get ready to rot in prison. "Noah, don't take this too far." The veins on Anna's forehead bulged as she glared at me. "You have an entire aquarium. Do you really need this one fish? Do you have any idea how hard this pregnancy is on me? You don't care, and now you won't let anyone else care either?" Aiden was just trying to help. He felt bad for me and wanted me to eat something appetizing. I actually laughed. A $2 million meal? With his $5,000 a month salary, he couldn't afford that in 10 lifetimes. Besides, there are hundreds of employees at the company. How come no one else is so eager to take care of you? Anyone who didn't know better would think you're carrying his child. Anna was speechless, her face turning a deep shade of red. "Well, not what you think." I couldn't be bothered to argue. I just opened Aiden's Facebook feed and showed it to her. "Last year, on our wedding anniversary, you said you had to work late and didn't come home all night. And what was the real reason? Because he said the power was out and he was afraid of the dark. You stayed in your car outside his apartment building all night." Anna guiltily avoided my gaze. "He has severe claustrophobia. I had no choice. Besides, we have an anniversary every year. It's not like we had to celebrate on that specific day." I almost laughed at her twisted logic. "Then what about this one? Anna's kiss makes the boo-boo go away." The picture was from a hospital room. Anna was carefully applying ointment to a tiny, almost healed cut on Aiden's finger. "Last month, I had reconstructive surgery on my leg and needed your signature on the consent forms. You said you were out of the country on a business trip and couldn't make it back. But where were you?" "In a hospital room right next to mine, comforting Aiden after he pricked his finger on a rose thorn. So, tell me, am I the one saying disgusting things, or are your actions what's truly repulsive?" As if stung by the coldness in my eyes, a flash of panic crossed Anna's face, and her tone softened. "Noah, I was wrong. I'm sorry. As for Aiden, he's all alone in New York, with no one to rely on but me. Can't you for my sake?" "Absolutely not." I coldly shook off her hand. "Either he pays the money, or he spends the rest of his life in prison. He can choose. And if you dare say one more word for him, a divorce petition will be on your desk tomorrow morning. Anna suddenly exploded, smashing a glass on the floor. Sharp fragments cut her ankle. 5 years of marriage, and you want a divorce over something this small? Noah, I am so disappointed in you. I ignored her twisted expression and turned to walk upstairs. You should have tasted disappointment a long time ago. Then maybe you wouldn't have crossed my lines again and again. Remember, this is your last chance. I thought my warning was clear enough. But at midnight, I was jolted awake by a frantic call. Mr. Carter, there's been a problem. Ms. Monroe brought people to the house, attacked the security, and took Aiden. The security footage my assistant sent showed Anna, covered in blood, carefully cradling Aiden in her arms. The gesture was so tender, as if she were protecting a long-lost treasure. One of her men beside her looked uneasy. Aren't you afraid of what Mr. Carter will do? Anna sneered, her tone certain. He loves me too much. He'll be angry for a day or two, but that's it. Do you really think he'd have the heart to divorce me? So that was the source of her confidence. Just because I loved her deeply, I was supposed to endure being hurt? I clenched my fists so tightly they trembled. Years ago, Anna was just my personal bodyguard, working desperately to pay for her sick mother's medical bills. I was the one who paid a fortune for her mother's kidney transplant, and I gave her $10 million to start her own casino, supporting her every step of the way until she became the formidable queen of Vegas. One night, she got drunk and cried in my arms, unable to stop. Noah, you're not just the man I love, you're my savior. I will never, ever betray you in this life. I never expected her lifetime of loyalty to be so short, to evaporate the moment Aiden appeared. The more I thought about the past, the more I felt like I was about to explode. I couldn't stand it for another second. Notify everyone. All Monroe casinos are to be shut down indefinitely, effective immediately. When I had funded her casinos, I never intended to get involved in the management. It was she who, as a show of loyalty, voluntarily transferred 55% of the shares to my name. So if I gave the order to close, no one could open them. 5 minutes later, every casino was in chaos. Anna's calls started flooding my phone. When I didn't answer, she sent 100 text messages. Noah, answer the phone. Are you insane? Get the casinos back online now. I saw the messages, but didn't reply. Instead, I blocked her number. Anna was completely frantic. In less than half an hour, she burst into the house and dragged me out of bed. Noah, how long are you going to keep this up? Do you know how much money I lose for every minute the casinos are closed? If you don't let them reopen, don't blame me for what happens next. I smirked. What happens next? Ms. Monroe, you've only been on top for a few years. Have you already forgotten the days when you used to bow your head to me? Do you need me to help you remember? As if stung by the memory, Anna's face went pale. She knew my temperament better than anyone. Someone had once spoken disrespectfully to me, and that night, they lost their tongue. Noah, are you threatening me? Before I could answer, she let out a cold laugh, her eyes defiant. Go ahead, kill me if you have the guts. If you don't, then reverse the shutdown order, and I can pretend this never happened. She was so arrogant, so sure of herself, convinced that because I loved her, I would keep backing down without any limits. Our marriage is over, but I'm not going to kill you. It's not worth it. I gave a mocking smile, took off my wedding ring, and threw it at her face along with the divorce papers from my drawer. Just sign them. The papers scattered on the floor, the bold, red letters of the title glaring up at us. Anna's breath caught in her throat. She looked up, her face a mask of disbelief. Noah, you're serious. I leaned against the wall, arms crossed, my mouth set in a firm line. Stop wasting time. Sign it. I won't sign. Her eyes welled up, her aggressive demeanor vanishing in an instant. For a stupid fish, you're willing to throw away our family? If you really want one, I'll buy you 10, 100, 1,000 to replace it. Can you please not be so casual about divorce? Her voice broke, and a tear splashed onto the back of her hand. The last time I saw her cry was that night she got drunk. My heart had shattered then. This time, I didn't even flinch. A stupid fish? That was a gift from my grandfather. It was the last thing he left me. I warned you not to touch it. My parents were always busy when I was a kid. My grandfather raised me. We were incredibly close. 5 years ago, when I was kidnapped, the stress caused him to have cerebral hemorrhage. He collapsed and never woke up. The only thing I had left of him was that Platinum Arowana he had cared for so meticulously. Anna knew all of this. She had even comforted me, saying, "Don't worry, honey. I'll protect it with my life." I believed her, and in return, she let someone else serve it on a dinner plate. "I'm sorry, Noah." A flicker of guilt and regret crossed her eyes. "I'm sorry. I didn't consider your feelings. Please, give me one more chance to make it up to you, okay?" A cold smile played on my lips. In this world, not every "I'm sorry" gets an "it's okay." Even if you died, it wouldn't erase what you've done. So just sign the papers. Anna covered her face with her hands, tears streaming through her fingers. "Noah, don't be so cruel to me. Don't give up on me, please." Seeing my stony expression, she cautiously reached for my fingers. "If this is about Aiden, I'll make him disappear right now. I promise, from now on, my heart will only belong to you. I'll never see him again, okay?" Her eyes were red, filled with a desperate plea. I tried to pull my hand away, but she clung to me, holding on for dear life. "Noah, I really do love you. I can't live without you." Hearing her helpless, tearful begging, the resolve I had built up began to crumble against my will. "Anna, this is the last time." Anna let out a long sigh of relief, and, as if to prove her commitment, immediately called the HR department. "Fire Aiden, and make sure he's blacklisted from the entire industry. I want him to never be able to work in this city again." She was still as decisive and ruthless as ever, a flash of the old Queen of Vegas. For the next 2 weeks, she seemed to have truly changed. She was glued to my side 24/7, treating me better than she had even during our honeymoon phase. I remember once casually mentioning that I was craving a cronut from a famous bakery in Soho, and she immediately drove across the city to get it for me. She put on an apron and stepped into the kitchen she had never once entered, cooking for me 3 meals a day, trying new recipes. She even flew overseas and spent a fortune at an exclusive auction to buy a young Platinum Arowana. "Noah, I searched the whole world and finally found one from the same lineage as your grandfather's," she said, looking at me. Her eyes were bloodshot from exhaustion, but filled with hope. "I know it can't replace the memories, but please give me a chance to start over." The wall of indifference I had built finally cracked. The suffocating pressure in my chest began to ease. "It's getting cold. Move back into the master bedroom tonight." She quickly turned her head, wiping at her red eyes. When she looked back, a smile spread across her face. "Noah, I knew you still had me in your heart." I didn't answer, just quietly sent a text to my assistant. "Effective immediately, Monroe Casinos will resume operations. Put the asset division for the divorce on hold for now." I gradually let go of my anger, and life started to return to normal. Then I got a call from the hospital saying they had developed a new physical therapy technology. I rushed over, but before I could get there, my phone rang. "Mr. Carter, there's a problem at the hotel for your father's birthday party. Tomorrow was my dad's 60th birthday, a major event that also marked my official takeover as CEO of Carter Holdings. I had chosen one of our 5-star hotels for the celebration and had personally inspected the decorations that morning. I had been very pleased with them." "What happened?" I asked. My assistant hesitated. "You should probably come see for yourself." Frowning, I told the driver to turn around and head to the hotel. When I arrived, I was stunned. The elegant, festive banquet hall had been transformed into something resembling a funeral parlor. All the red silk decorations were replaced with white gauze. Wreaths were piled up from the entrance to the main hall. In the center of the stage sat a small, black coffin. Inside, a teddy bear dog lay lifeless. My face darkened, the atmosphere around me growing heavy and oppressive. "Who did this?" Before my assistant could speak, a sneer came from behind me. "Mr. Carter, are you here to attend my Fluffy's memorial service?" I spun around. There stood Aiden, who should have been exiled from the city, looking perfectly at home. "Or perhaps you're looking for Anna. That's a shame. She spent the whole night with me. She just left. Just last night, Anna and I had gone to my family's estate for dinner. As we were about to arrive, she suddenly said there was an emergency at one of the casinos she had to handle. I didn't think much of it and told her to go. I never imagined her emergency was in Aiden's bed. A cold smile touched my lips. I stepped forward and slammed my fist into his face. You really have a superiority complex for a homewrecker. You dare hit me? Aiden struggled to get up and fight back, but my bodyguards pinned him to the floor, forcing him to his knees. He could only crane his neck and scream, I'm warning you. Let me go. When Anna gets here, you're going to regret this. Anna? Who the hell is Anna? She's just a dog who wagged her tail the right way. So I decided to show her some favor. My smile widened, but the chill in my eyes deepened. If you know what's good for you, you'll get all this junk out of here. Otherwise, this funeral will be for you. He flinched at the ferocity in my eyes, but tried to act tough. Anna gave me this hotel. Why should I clear it out? The agreement is in my bag. See for yourself. My assistant stepped forward and, sure enough, pulled a stack of documents from Aiden's bag. It was all there in black and white. Not only did Aiden have the rights to use the hotel for today and tomorrow, but the hotel itself had been gifted to him. In the transfer section, Anna's signature was a glaring insult. Seeing my expression change, Aiden's confidence surged, and his smile became more arrogant. See that? You're trespassing. I could call the cops on you right now. Before he finished his sentence, I had torn the agreement into pieces and thrown them in his face. Smash it. Smash it all. Dozens of my men moved at my command, charging in with sledgehammers. In moments, the entire venue was a wreck. Noah, you're crazy. Tell your men to stop. Aiden screamed, his face pale with terror. This hotel is worth $100 million. I curled my lip in a cruel smile and lifted his chin with the toe of my shoe. My things either belong to me completely or they cease to exist. There is no third option. Just then my phone buzzed. It was a text from Anna. Honey, are you done at the hospital? I'll come pick you up. I took a picture of the wrecked hotel and sent it to her with a simple message. Get here in 10 minutes. On the last second of the countdown, Anna rushed in, sweating and out of breath. Her eyes darted around, not even daring to glance at Aiden. She walked straight to me, trying to take my hand. Noah, let me explain. I stepped back, coldly avoiding her touch. The facts are right in front of us. What lies are you going to spin this time? Before Anna could speak, Aiden scrambled over and knelt at my feet. Mr. Carter, it's not Anna's fault. She just has a good heart. She wanted to give Fluffy a proper farewell, so she let me use the hotel. Please don't blame her. Don't be angry with her. He started to bow his head to the floor, but before his forehead could touch the ground, Anna rushed over and pulled him into her arms. Aiden, this isn't your fault. Aiden sobbed, leaning weakly on her shoulder. You're the most important person to me. I can't stand by and watch you be misunderstood. The sympathy in Anna's eyes was overflowing, but when she looked at me, her gaze hardened. Noah, stop tormenting Aiden. He lost his job, and he just lost his beloved dog. He's on the verge of a breakdown. She stood there like his protector, turning her sharpest blade on me, her husband. A wave of fury burned from my chest to the top of my head, making me tremble. Without a word, I ordered my men to pull him from Anna's embrace. I kicked him to his knees. You want to bow? Then, amidst her screams, I grabbed his head and slammed it against the floor. Thump, thump, thump. After 3 dull impacts, Aiden's face was covered in blood. See? That's how you do it. My eyes were bloodshot. I grabbed his hair, ready to slam his head again, but an enraged Anna shoved me hard. Noah, that's enough. Caught off guard, I fell backward, landing hard on the floor. A searing pain shot through my left palm, so intense it made me gasp. I looked down and saw a sharp piece of porcelain embedded deep in my hand, blood gushing out. But Anna didn't even look at me. She just gritted her teeth and spat. Noah, you better pray Aiden is okay, or I will never forgive you. With that, she helped Aiden up, her face full of concern, and rushed out of the hotel towards the hospital without a single look back. Mr. Carter, your hand, my assistant cried out in alarm. I gripped the shard in my palm and, gritting my teeth, yanked it out. Blood splattered everywhere, pooling at my feet. My vision started to blur. Did it hurt? The wound in my palm was nothing compared to the gut-wrenching pain in my heart. I took a deep breath and went home. The moment I opened the door, a wave of sickening, intimate sounds hit me like a poisoned dagger, freezing me in place. Through the narrow crack in the doorway, I saw them. In the shadows of the sofa, Aiden was kissing his way down Anna's slightly swollen belly. Oh, Anna's cheeks were flushed with desire, a trembling moan escaping her lips. Don't tease me. Just do it. Aiden chuckled and eagerly unbuckled his belt. Soon, the room was filled with a symphony of moans and wet sounds. In the heat of the moment, Anna murmured, her eyes hazy, Aiden, can you feel the baby? He's saying hello to you. I clenched my fists. For years, Anna had claimed to have severe mysophobia, that any man other than me coming close would make her physically ill, let alone touch her. I remember the day she confessed her feelings for me. The woman who could take a knife wound without flinching was trembling from head to toe. She had a down shot after shot of tequila just to find the courage to take my hand. But now, here she was, lying in another man's arms, whispering the same sweet nothing she once reserved only for me, and carrying his child. Noah, I've only ever held your hand. For the rest of my life, I'll only ever hold your hand. For years, I had cherished that special place she gave me, guarding her supposed devotion like a moth drawn to a flame. And what was my reward? A live sex show that made a mockery of everything I believed. A wave of nausea churned in my stomach, and I suddenly threw up. Hearing the noise, Anna's head snapped up, the color draining from her face. Noah, what are you doing back? She shoved Aiden off her and scrambled to pull on her clothes, her fingers trembling so much she couldn't even fasten the buttons. It's not what you think. Yeah, Mr. Carter, don't get the wrong idea. Aiden chimed in, deliberately showing off the large hickeys on his neck. Anna, and I didn't do anything. She just accidentally fell on top of me. I wiped the bitter taste from my mouth and let out a cold, mocking laugh. Fell? Did she fall all the way onto your dick? Anna's face was as white as a sheet. She staggered forward, trying to grab me, making one last desperate attempt. Noah, believe me, it was just an accident. Don't touch me. You're filthy. I violently shook her off, my voice so cold it sounded foreign even to me. Anna, I gave you chance after chance, thinking you would genuinely change. But you just pushed further, testing my limits again and again. I'm telling you, I stared her down, speaking each word with venom. You've finally done it. You've pushed me too far. If I don't destroy you, my name isn't Noah Carter. With that, I grabbed a nearby chair and walked straight to our wedding portrait hanging on the wall. With one swing, the heavy frame shattered, just like the 5 years of my marriage to Anna. In the end, all that was left was a pile of wreckage. Anna's pupils contracted. She instinctively reached out to protect the photo, but the falling glass shards sliced her wrist open. Blood gushed out, running down her arm. Anna! Aiden screamed, rushing to her side to check the wound. He then whipped his head around to glare at me, snarling like a feral dog protecting its food. Noah, are you insane? Can't you see she's bleeding? You can't stand to see us together, can you? Is it really that serious? Aiden clutched Anna's wound, his eyes filled with poison. You have a nerve to call Anna filthy? What about you? Were you so clean during that infamous yacht party in Miami? Aiden, Anna's eyes widened in shock. Shut up, she hissed. Aiden's eyes instantly turned red, but he defiantly continued, his voice cracking. Am I wrong? Don't tell me you don't care about what happened. He was drugged at that party for a full 24 hours. How could nothing have happened? He turned to Anna, his voice growing sharper. Anna, do you really expect a man to stay faithful to you under those circumstances? Every word was an icicle stabbing into my heart. The year Anna and I first got together, I publicly rejected the daughter of a billionaire for her. Furious, the woman drugged me at a business gala and had me thrown onto a yacht where a wild party was in full swing. The yacht was a blur of neon lights and temptation, but the thought of Anna was all it took for me to grit my teeth and dive into the ocean. The cold water couldn't extinguish the fire of the drug, but it helped me hold onto my last shred of self-control. I would rather smash my head against the rocks than betray her. When I finally crawled ashore, covered in wounds, she held me and cried all night. Finally, she looked up, her eyes full of tears but firm. "Noah, I believe you. Nothing happened. I was so foolish then. I thought as long as she believed me, I could withstand the doubts of the entire world. But now I understand. Once a seed of doubt is planted, it quietly grows in the heart." She said she believed me, but the thorn was never removed. All this time, the loyalty I fought so hard to protect was nothing more than a self-deceiving joke in her eyes. Stung by the broken look in my eyes, Anna shook her head, trying to explain. "I didn't tell him that. I never doubted you. I never thought you were anything less than perfect. Really, it doesn't really matter what you say now, does it?" I looked up, blinking hard to force back the stinging in my eyes. I went to my desk, opened the bottom drawer, and took out the divorce papers from before. I tossed them at her feet. "Sign them before I run out of patience. Otherwise, you won't just lose your lover, you'll lose your casinos too." Anna bit her lip, tears streaming down her face. "Is there really no chance to fix this?" I laughed coldly. "I give second chances to human beings. Do you qualify?" The divorce was finalized. That same night, the Carter Holdings official website released two statements. The first announced that Mr. Noah Carter and Ms. Anna Monroe had officially dissolved their marriage due to irreconcilable differences. The second announced the decision to sell the 55% stake in Monroe Casinos to the highest bidder. Anna called me in a panic. "Noah, even if we can't be husband and wife, we can at least be friends. Do you have to be so ruthless?" I sneered. "Ms. Monroe, don't talk to me about feelings. Let's talk about money. Sterling Casinos has already contacted me. They're willing to pay $10 billion for my shares. If you can match that price, I'll consider selling to you first." Without my backing, Anna couldn't come up with $10 billion or even $1 billion. Her tone softened. "Noah, don't be like this." But I was done talking. I hung up and blocked her number again. The news created a huge stir. My father finally heard about everything that had happened between me and Anna. He was furious, calling me a fool while also putting the word out. Anna Monroe was finished. Anyone who wanted to get tangled up in her mess could try helping her at their own risk. Once that news spread, Anna's so-called friends disappeared. Even the small-time business owners who used to flatter her quickly distanced themselves when she asked for loans to buy back the shares. "Ms. Monroe, please don't make this difficult for me. The Carters want you out. We can't afford to get in their way. If I were you, I'd go back and beg Mr. Carter. You were married, after all. There's no grudge that can't be forgiven." The day I announced I was transferring the shares to her biggest competitor, she knelt outside my house in the pouring rain. "Noah, I was wrong. I truly know I was wrong. Please, give me one more chance. I'll never make you unhappy again." I watched her through the window. It had only been a few days, but she had lost so much weight, looking pathetic and soaked in the rain. Maybe only now did she understand that all her past achievements were built on my generosity. Once I took it all back, she was nothing. I was about to call security to have her removed when someone rushed out into the rain. "Anna, don't beg him. Don't degrade yourself like this." Anna shoved him away, screaming, "What do you know? If I don't bow my head now, the casinos are really gone." "No, they won't be. I have a way to help you." Aiden grabbed her arm, trying to pull her away, his face full of confidence. "Just listen to me. You can get back on your feet. And when you do, we'll make Noah Carter kneel before you and beg for your forgiveness." Watching them support each other as they walked away, a dark, vicious look crept into my cold eyes. I was curious to see what kind of new tricks they could come up with. 2 days later, I was in a car accident on my way to the office and fell into a deep coma. The doctor said my brain damage was severe. Even if I woke up, I would likely be in a vegetative state. The board members paced anxiously outside my hospital room. The new CEO just took over. How could this happen? Exactly. The company can't be without a leader, right? At that moment, a junior board member spoke up. "Doesn't Mr. Carter have a wife?" "Maybe." Before he could finish, the others shot him down. "Absolutely not. That woman is a brainless fool. She can't handle such a huge responsibility. Besides, Mr. Carter already divorced her. Who said we're divorced? A grim voice echoed down the hall. Anna appeared at the end of the corridor with Aiden, followed by dozens of reporters with cameras and microphones. The board members looked furious. What are you doing here? And with all these people, don't you know Mr. Carter is injured and needs rest? Anna's eyes were red-rimmed as she looked towards me in the hospital bed. I'm here to support Noah and Carter Holdings. Mr. Anderson, a director who had watched me grow up, snorted. You're an ex-wife. What right do you have? Noah and I were just having a disagreement. We weren't really getting a divorce. Anna wiped a tear from her eye and pulled out the previously signed divorce papers from her bag, pointing to the date. The final decree isn't effective until tomorrow. Legally, I am still Noah's wife. No one but me has the right to take over the Carter family's assets. The crowd looked confused and uneasy. The junior director who had first mentioned Anna quickly changed his tune. Ms. Monroe, the future of Carter Holdings rests on your shoulders. Hearing this, a few other opportunists quietly shifted their allegiance to Anna's side. Mr. Anderson trembled with rage. Mr. Carter was just in an accident, and you're already switching sides? Have you forgotten who got you where you are today? If you want to take over Carter Holdings, you'll have to do it over my dead body. At his defiance, Anna's expression turned icy. She snapped her fingers at the bodyguards behind her. Throw this old fool out. I'd like to see you try. Hearing my voice, Anna froze as if struck by lightning. After a long moment, she turned stiffly towards the bed. Noah, you're okay. I took off the oxygen mask and sat up, smiling. What? You're not happy to see me? Anna forced a smile that was uglier than a grimace. Happy? Of course I'm happy. When I heard you were in an accident, I was terrified. She was still trying to act. I dropped the pretense, my face hardening. Notify the legal department. We're pressing charges against Anna Monroe for attempted murder. I want to make sure she walks away with nothing. With that, I opened my phone and showed a video to the reporters Anna had brought with her. On the screen, Anna and Aiden were opening a briefcase full of cash and pushing it towards the driver of the truck that had hit me. You're already terminally ill, Anna said. Why not use your life to provide for your family? Kill Noah Carter, and all this money is yours. The truck driver hesitated. But isn't Mr. Carter your husband? A flicker of hesitation crossed Anna's face, but Aiden quickly interjected. Anna, you can't get soft now. The casinos are your life's work. Noah said he would destroy them, and he didn't show you any mercy. Hearing that, Anna's expression hardened again. Just take the money and do the job. Don't ask questions. Anna's face went deathly pale. She tried to snatch my phone, but the reporters, sensing a huge story, swarmed her. Ms. Monroe, is the video real? Did you really hire a hitman? Was it for the money or for that man? Anna couldn't explain. She could only look at me with desperate eyes. So you were never in an accident. This was all a trap. Noah, you set me up. I sneered. You don't get to use that word. Then I played another video, holding the phone up for her to see. Since we were married, here's one last gift. On the screen, Aiden was in bed with the female owner of a rival casino, kissing her passionately. Darling, he murmured, when can I finally leave Anna? You have no idea how disgusting it is to be with her every second. The woman laughed and kissed his ear. That depends on how hard you work. Once she's kicked out by the Carters, we'll have our wedding. Aiden hugged her, looking triumphant. Just you wait. They'll be at each other's throats soon enough. And that Anna is a real idiot, so eager to have my baby. Aiden's laughter was like a knife twisting in Anna's heart. With every word, her face grew paler. Finally, she stared at Aiden, her eyes bloodshot, and squeezed out a single sentence through gritted teeth. You bastard. I'm going to kill you. Aiden trembled in fear. This video is fake. It's edited. But Anna wasn't listening. She grabbed a nearby chair and swung it at him with all her might. Even though she was pregnant, Anna came from a security background and was more than a match for Aiden. The chair leg smashed into his eye. Aiden screamed in pain and lunged at her, the two of them tumbling to the ground in a vicious fight. Every punch he threw landed squarely on her slightly bulging stomach. Blood splattered everywhere, staining the hospital corridor a shocking red. The police had to be called to stop the chaos. In the end, one of them was permanently disabled, the other lost the baby, and both ended up in court. Anna was sentenced to 20 years for attempted murder. Aiden got 15 years for conspiracy. I thought it was over, but as they were leaving the courtroom, Anna suddenly went berserk. She lunged at Aiden, pulling out a shiv she had paid a guard a fortune for, and slit his throat. Aiden died on the spot without making a sound. For the murder and contempt of court, Anna's sentence was immediately changed to death. Before the execution, she sent a message through her lawyer asking to see me one last time. I thought about it and decided to go. Through the bulletproof glass, she looked like she had aged 20 years. Her eyes were sunken, and her hair had turned gray. When she saw me, a flicker of light appeared in her dead eyes. "Noah, I'm sorry." My face was blank. "Is that all you wanted to say?" Her eyes reddened, and her lips trembled for a long time before she shakily pushed a stack of papers towards me from under the partition. "These are the divorce papers. The last thing I can do for you is make sure you don't have a wife on death row." As she finished speaking, a single tear rolled down her cheek. I nodded, took the papers, and put them in my briefcase. "I'll take care of your mother. You may have been a monster, but she's innocent." Anna nodded and whispered, "Thank you." Suddenly, she covered her face and began to shake uncontrollably. "Noah, I regret it so much. If I hadn't been so stupid back then, would we still be happy together? I failed you in this life. In the next life, maybe—" I gave a bitter smile and shook my head. "Anna, there are no what-ifs in this world. And even if there's a next life, I never want to see you again." With that, I stood up, took my cane, and turned to leave. No, just as I reached the door, a heart-wrenching cry came from behind me, followed by the dull thud of a head hitting the floor over and over. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." My eyes burned, but I didn't turn back. I walked out step by steady step. Outside the prison, the sky was clear and cloudless. I knew, finally, that a new life was waiting for me.